What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Hang on, let me. There we go. It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Again, if you guys notice, I'm wearing these. My wrists are literally hurting right now, so yeah. But anyway, today's video with the in today's video with the fallout from Takeover last night, there is a lot to talk about for WWE, including both champion and challenger. Both injured at Takeover last night. A former women's champion possibly returning. WWE's plans for after the Thunderdome, and also the latest as to whether or not NXT will be a part of the WWE Draft. So let's actually talk about which legend is returning. And if you haven't figured it out yet, it's actually not Melina. It's actually not this time. This time it is actually none other than Victoria. Yes, we have not seen Victoria since I think 2010. I think it's been since like 2010 that we last saw her. But shoutouts to Adam Wilborn from What Culture for this article. Former two-time women's champion Lisa Marie Varon, also known as Victoria, has revealed in a recent interview with Fightful that she'd be open to a return to WWE. Varon, who retired from wrestling in 2019 due to feeling like she was falling apart, admitted that her returning to WWE was a possibility. She said, and I quote, "I would consider it. I would have to ask exactly what the details are. I'm not going to go back and then just say as the girls are going to the ring, hey, have a good match, and that's it. That's my cameo. I'm not going to go back for that. I would like to, what they say in the business, get my shit in a little bit. When I come in, I don't want it to just be seen in the background just chit-chatting. I don't want that. I would want to do something. I don't have to win a match or anything like that. I don't mind putting the girls over and stuff like that." The former Victoria is someone whose name consistently crops up on lists of people that should be in WWE's Hall of Fame, and a return to the company may well be the catalyst for that. Varon also admits in the interview that she'd love to help train, produce, coach, or agent, but the infamous phrase, never say never in wrestling, leaves the door open for an in-ring return. Yeah, so the last time we saw Victoria, I think it was back in 2010, if I remember correctly. In terms of WWE, was back in 2010. She ended up going to TNA for a little while. Let me take a look, because I believe it was in 2010 that she left. Let me look her up. Well, that's if it can go. But while it's loading, there we go. Nope, I hate it when my laptop does that. So let's take a look. So yeah, I believe it was in 2010 that she left. And let's see. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia, because that's the only thing I can find out. So let's see. Oh no, it was not. It was actually in 2009 was when she left. She left WWE in 2009, and then later on that year she went to TNA. And then and then did some other stuff. So, yeah, so honestly, having Victoria back in WWE would be incredible. She could do so much with the women of today who are trying to get their foot in, if you will, in the business and trying to find who they really are on the inside. Like, I know that it would do wonders for Lana. It would do wonders for the Riot Squad. It would also do wonders for Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans as well. And even also, if she were to work some shows over on NXT, she could help Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, possibly Rhea Ripley, even though Rhea Ripley kind of understands where she's at. And even also potentially Ember Moon, because if you guys remember my result and review video from my result video from last night's takeover, we saw the NXT return of both Ember Moon and Toni Storm, which could help the women's division over on NXT skyrocket to heights never seen before. So it is a possibility. But again, having Victoria back in WWE, an excellent idea. But of course, as the old saying goes, never say never. You never know if it will happen or not. But I would love to see it because she's a former multi-time women's champion, and she's also a former TNA women's champion, or I guess a Knockouts champion. I don't know, and even also a Knockouts tag team champion. Yes, TNA has tag team champions as well. Well, actually, they used to. They used to. The last champions were I think Eric Young and ODB, if I remember correctly, they were the last champions in TNA before they retired those titles. But yeah, crazy enough, right? But yeah, again, Victoria, I think she could really do wonders for WWE. She would be able to help the women's division in WWE, whether it's on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, go to that proverbial next level. I can definitely see that happening, and she really does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame with all of her accolades, with all of her, with everything that she's done in WWE from the time she made her debut in 2002 up until now. With the wrestling business and whatnot, she definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Alright, you guys, with that being said, Finn Bálor, Kyle OReilly, both injured after TakeOver last night. And, yeah, it's, yeah. This is going to be interesting to talk about. So, shoutouts to Michael Hamflet from What Culture for this article. Both NXT champion Finn Bálor and defeated challenger Kyle OReilly have been reported as suffering injuries during last night's TakeOver 31 NXT Championship match. During his post-show conference call, Triple H had confirmed that the pair had been taken to a hospital after a contest that saw both men bleeding by its conclusion. WWE.com provided the update several hours later, noting, quote, "The main event of NXT TakeOver 31 was a brutal, hard-hitting battle for the NXT Championship between Finn Bálor and Undisputed Era's Kyle OReilly. In the aftermath of the grueling main event, it has become evident that both superstars are worse for wear. OReilly has a number of broken teeth as a result of the fight with the Prince. WWE.com has learned. OReilly is also being evaluated for additional injuries. WWE.com can also report that Bálor has been taken to a local medical facility for CAT scans to determine if he suffered potential facial fractures in his successful title defense. Typically for the company's traditional hyperbole, the clash was every bit as brutal as it sounds. Here's to a speedy recovery for both, particularly as both await news on any further injuries. So as far as this match goes, I said it before. I said it last night. I'll say it again. This match 5 stars easy. And the night concluded with Ridge Holland attacking, carrying Adam Cole by, on his shoulder, and just tossing him right in front of both Bálor and O'Reilly, and all all of them, Fish, Strong, Bálor, and O'Reilly were all concerned for Adam Cole, on the hopes that he's okay. And from the rumors that I heard, supposedly, yes, he is okay. From what I've been reading, from several other sources, and even also from Twitter, he is okay. But I'm not. But who knows? Who knows how far he took it? But this really doesn't surprise me, because I noticed that there was going to be some injuries sustained. Like, I know that Finn Bálor delivered a clean shot to O'Reilly's liver, Kyle OReilly's liver. Crazy enough, it was indeed his liver, right where the ribs are, and that took him out easy. And even with that, Kyle OReilly brought it. Finn Bálor said last week on NXT, bring it. Oh, you can bet your ass, Kyle OReilly brought it. But even with that, as I said, Finn Bálor did pick up the victory with a wicked coup de grace, picking up the W, which now begs the question: who will be next for the title? Which, I mean, at this point, it's pretty clear that Ridge Holland wants Finn Bálor and the NXT Championship. But honestly, though, we will find out. We will definitely find out this coming Wednesday on NXT, and we also found out as well that an old WCW pay-per-view known as Halloween Havoc is going to be on NXT on October 28th, hosted by Shotzi Blackheart. That is going to be very interesting. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Halloween Havoc, because obviously now, with WCW, in the past, WWE now owns most of the records for WCW. Like, I know that that one other company, whatever it is, I don't even watch it, that knockoff company, whatever it is, I don't even know. Apparently, from what I heard, AEW. I think it's called AEW. Comment below if I'm wrong, if I'm right or wrong. But anyway, apparently AEW has actually filed for a few of the pay-per-views from WCW, but WWE filed the claims for pretty much almost everything. So, but for Halloween Havoc to be in NXT, I love it. It's incredible. We're being able to see old pay-per-views being embedded with NXT. Like, I know that we saw the Great American Bash. We saw, Takeover in Your House. And now Halloween Havoc, which is absolutely incredible. Alright, you guys, that being said, again, coming from me alone, I do wish both Bálor and O'Reilly a speedy recovery. Hopefully the injuries aren't too bad, but we will find out on Wednesday. Okay, can my laptop not work? Okay, well, I can scroll down. So, now, the big question here is apparently Triple H has revealed what WWE will do following the Thunderdome. Because obviously, you guys know, WWE's contract with the Amway Center will expire at the end of this month, which is October. And Triple H has revealed what they're going to do once that contract is up. And if it can go, there we go, finally. So shoutouts to Tempest from Wrestle Talk. That's the name. Quite the unique name. from Wrestle Talk. One of the topics of conversation with WWE lately has been the Thunderdome. WWE is only contracted to use the Amway Center through October, leaving many to wonder what the plan will be for the future. Now Triple H has provided some insight into WWE's plans. On the post-show media call, Triple H revealed that the Capitol Wrestling Center will be used by NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. This appears to mean WWE will be headed back to the Performance Center next month. So Alex McCarthy from TalkSport has took to Twitter, I think this was yesterday, and said, quote, Triple H says the Capitol Wrestling Center will be for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will continue to look and feel different. He thinks when WWE leaves the Amway Center or the Thunderdome, it'll be for something bigger, presumably other venues with fans or another Thunderdome setup. Triple H also added that he believes WWE will leave the Thunderdome for something bigger. While the Capitol Wrestling Center was impressive, it wasn't necessarily bigger than WWE's current venue. He finished by saying other venues may be used with fans or a Thunderdome setup. The Capitol Wrestling Center was debuted for TakeOver 31. The souped-up Performance Center featured a wall of screens with fans at ringside as well. The presentation was similar to the Thunderdome's, just on a much smaller scale. WWE has been using the Amway Center as their home since August 21st on SmackDown. It has been since the home of all their main roster shows. So for Raw and SmackDown, and even also 205 Live to go back to the Performance Center, or rather the Capitol Wrestling Center, not the best option, because honestly it wouldn't make any sense. I mean if they wanted to, if they wanted to continue the Performance Center, they could have just stayed there to begin with, but they chose not to, and they chose to go into the Amway Center, which is literally like miles away from the Performance Center anyway. I think what they need to do, in my personal opinion anyway, is not host it at the Performance Center, or rather the Capitol Wrestling Center. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right for WWE to do that. But if they do, they'll most likely limit the amount of content that they'll release for when they for when that does come to pass. But apparently I've heard rumors that that in certain states we might, possibly Georgia could be another potential candidate for their next Raw and SmackDown shows, because they're near, because Georgia, the state of Georgia is near the state of Florida. I think it's near the state of Florida, so it would make sense for them to host it like in Georgia, or even possibly in like North Carolina or something like that. It wouldn't make sense, but I don't work with WWE. Although you guys know I'm working on that. I've been working on it for a while, and yeah, we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, that's weird. It's weird that they would do that, but yeah, again, if they were to do that, I think they would have to limit the amount of content in terms of matches, in order for them to host it at the Capitol Wrestling Center. Alright, you guys, once again, Tempest from Wrestle Talk. Is NXT going to be a part of the draft? So obviously you guys know the WWE Draft is coming up this week. It's gonna start this Friday on SmackDown, and it's gonna continue on this next Monday on Raw. Okay, can this please? Can I? Thank you. So the article reads: for a while now, NXT has been in a weird gray area between a developmental show and WWE's third brand. While it is clear WWE treats the show as more than just a place for people to learn, they are often excluded from WWE events, in this case the upcoming WWE Draft. There has been speculation about whether or not NXT will participate in the draft, but now Triple H has provided an update. He said he does not know if the brand will be represented and that things are still being worked out. So Alex McCarthy took to Twitter and said Triple H quote, Triple H tells me he doesn't know if NXT are going to be in the draft this week. WWE are still working things out with the draft, and he's waiting to find out. Also says Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae quote, are just getting going with the Gargano way. There's a long way to go there. Triple H expands on this with Sean Ross Sapp and says, just judging by adverts and promotion for it, he assumes NXT won't be a part of the draft, but stresses he doesn't really know. He's been followed up in response to Ron. Literally he's like he's stressing out on it. NXT has not been involved in the last two WWE drafts and had a number of their talent drafted to other brands in 2016. This was before former NXT stars began returning to the brand. However, since 2016, stars like Finn Bálor, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, and Ember Moon have returned to NXT. This kind of brand jumping may mean it is easier for NXT to be involved as a proper third brand, but it still doesn't look like it doesn't look likely according to Triple H. The draft is scheduled for October 9th and October 12th on SmackDown and Raw. So, one of the things that I've noticed from the draft is that it can oftentimes be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. Like, I know that back in 2011, back in 2011, I remember John Cena was the first superstar to be drafted, but he ended up being drafted to SmackDown, and later on in the night, at the end of the show, he got drafted back over to Monday Night Raw, which was an interesting one. I know that when it comes to the quote-unquote, I guess, superstar shakeup, as they called it, I know that Alexa Bliss got sent to Raw. Charlotte Flair being sent to SmackDown. Andrade being sent to SmackDown coming from NXT. Ember Moon as well. It's literally like all over the place. But in terms of whether or not NXT should be involved, my personal opinion, I think so, because NXT has been known as a third brand. But in my personal opinion, I think I think they're considered a third brand. But in terms of who should get drafted to Raw or SmackDown from NXT, hands down, Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole should definitely go to SmackDown because because that way he'll be able to go up against some of the best in the business, like AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Drew Gulak, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, the Usos, the New Day, just to name a few. He could really shine on SmackDown. He's literally done everything that he wants to do that he wanted to do in NXT. So there's nothing left for him to do in NXT. So for him to go to SmackDown, it would make excellent sense. It would not make sense for him to go to Raw, because on Raw, I mean, don't get me wrong. Monday Night Raw has incredible talent, but SmackDown has been on fire with the talent. So, but guys, that is going to do it for this video. Question of the day: do you guys think NXT should be a part of this year's WWE Draft? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys love seeing these news videos for WWE and for Yu-Gi-Oh!, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links are down in the description below. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.